Number 10. Mysterious hitchhiker. The time I picked up a hitchhiking ghost. I was driving home from visiting my girlfriend who lives out in the middle of nowhere. The road I take has very little traffic, but it's pitch black. As I'm driving, I see a lone female hitchhiker. She appears to be in her early 20s, with long, flowing hair. I roll down my window and she immediately puts her hand out and stops me. I ask her where she's headed and she tells me that she just wants to get off this road. It was about 1 a.m. by this point and I was already getting creeped out because no one ever hitchhikes this late at night and no one ever asks to just get off the road. But I figured, what the heck, I'll drive her to the next gas station. After a few minutes of driving, she starts talking to me and it becomes apparent that she doesn't have any money. Okay, now I'm definitely getting creeped out. She said she had been walking on the side of the road for hours, which was hard to believe because the nearest town was about 30 minutes away. When we finally reach the gas station, she thanks me and starts to get out of the car, but then she disappears. I quickly looked over and saw that the seat where she was sitting was completely empty. It was still moving slightly from her having just been there. And all her belongings were there too, including her backpack and the jacket she was wearing when I picked her up. To this day, I still don't know what the hell happened. Did I really pick up a ghost? Number 9. Graveyard across the street. A run-in with a ghost while trick-or-treating. Every Halloween, the neighborhood would organize a trick-or-treat event. I was around 8 years old at the time and my mom drove us to the local church to go trick-or-treating. We parked across the street from the church and walked over to the trick-or-treat. What we didn't know was that the church was also a graveyard. As we were walking through the rows of trunks handing out candy, I heard footsteps behind me. At first I thought nothing of it until I turned around and saw a little girl in a nightgown walking towards me. She was pale and gaunt and her feet didn't touch the ground. She kept walking right past me and everyone else and she eventually disappeared. My mom still gets freaked out when she thinks about it to this day. Number 8. Hauntings at home. The story of my aunt's terrifying encounter with a ghost. My aunt recently moved into an older home in a good neighborhood. It's a large house with many rooms, so she wasn't surprised when she found some unwanted visitors. While she was dusting, she noticed a full-length mirror in one of the bedrooms that had cobwebs all over it. She started dusting the mirror when suddenly the room got cold. She stopped and watched as the dust in the air swirled around the room before vanishing. She also noticed that the glass on the mirror had fogged up and then cleared. She has never seen a ghost, but she felt a presence behind her and swears she heard footsteps in the room. Now she keeps the mirror covered with a sheet. Number 7. A ghostly drive-by. The eerie moment I saw a ghost driving down the street. I was driving home from work on a 4-lane road. It was raining heavily. Suddenly, out of the corner of my eye, I saw a car coming towards me. I assumed it was a truck because it was big and it didn't appear to have any lights on. It was also driving straight towards me in the wrong lane. The car came closer and closer and I could see that it was an old pickup truck. It was also filled with people, maybe 5 or 6 of them. They were all sitting quietly and no one was paying attention to me. As it passed by, I could hear the driver yell something. All I caught was the word move. The truck kept driving towards me and didn't slow down or swerve. I slammed on the brakes and swerved into the other lane to avoid hitting it head-on. As our cars passed each other, I finally saw the driver's face. He was pale and his eyes were wide and scared. His face then contorted in rage and he started screaming at me to move. Then the truck accelerated rapidly and disappeared into the distance. I've never seen anything like it. Number 6. Playground ghost. I recalled the time I saw a ghostly figure on the playground. I was playing basketball at my local high school. We were shooting hoops and having fun when suddenly a girl came running across the court. I thought nothing of it until she ran off again. She did this several times and we couldn't figure out why. That's when we decided to follow her. We lost her several times, but eventually found her standing by the monkey bars. That's when we saw it. There was a swing moving back and forth, even though no one was on it. We decided to investigate further and that's when we saw the girl again. She appeared to be in a Victorian nightgown and her hair was covering her face. She seemed to be crying. We called out to her, but she didn't respond. She just kept staring at the swing. We eventually got scared and ran away. Number 5. Cemetery signals. Receiving messages from beyond the grave. I was visiting my boyfriend who was laid to rest in a cemetery. I've visited his grave every year since he died. As I was leaving, I noticed that someone had left 2 pebbles on his grave. I didn't think anything of it. I visited again a few months later and found 2 more pebbles. I continued to visit and found 2 more pebbles. After a while, the visit stopped. I started visiting again and found 2 more pebbles. It's almost like they were left there to tell me that he was okay and that I shouldn't worry about him. Number 4. Uninvited guest. An uninvited guest at a birthday party. I was having a birthday party at my house. Everything was going well until we started hearing strange noises in the attic. My friends and I investigated and found a door in the attic leading to a small room. We opened the door and found an old rocking chair moving back and forth. We were all scared and ran out of the attic. That's when we heard a loud crash from inside the house. We went to investigate and found a vase on the floor. It had been sitting on a shelf when the house was empty. My friends and I decided to leave and we haven't gone back since. Number 3. Shadow figures. Seeing shadow figures in my home. I was unpacking boxes in my new home when I saw a shadow figure standing in the corner of the room. I thought nothing of it until I saw it again. This time it was following me around the house. I called out to it, but it didn't respond. It just kept following me around. I was scared and ran to my bedroom to hide. That's when I saw it again. It was standing in the doorway, watching me. I screamed and it vanished. I haven't seen it since. Number 2. Attic ghost. I recalled the time I encountered a ghost in my new home's attic. I was exploring my new house when I found a door in the attic leading to a small room. Opened the door and found an old rocking chair moving back and forth. I was scared and ran out of the attic. That's when I heard a loud crash from inside the house. I went to investigate and found a vase on the floor. It had been sitting on a shelf when I was in the attic. Number 1. Knocks in the night. Hearing knocks in the middle of the night. My son and I were sleeping in our home when we heard strange knocking sounds. We investigated and found that all the doors and windows were closed. We couldn't figure out where the noise was coming from. We eventually gave up and went back to bed. The next morning, we woke up to the same knocking sound. We investigated again, but still couldn't find the source of the noise. We were scared and ended up moving out of the house. I'll see you next time. Bye.